So
Yeah,
yeah,
so like you were saying, that's what's up. How Phoenix is crazy how they shoot 90% from the free throw line on the road, but they don't play as well on the road.
so, but they're quit. That's the bench. So you got the bench scoring 90% away. You got 3 starters that are over 90 and one that's close. That's good free shooting team, man. They can get themselves out of trouble like that. Trouble.
That's true. Get to the line.
So, and shit, you get Milwaukee to play dumb, they'll start fouling and shit.
Well, that I think is a perfect segue into the intangibles, which we're talking about home court and the coaching matchups.
Before you get there though, who do you have? So sorry, you said Phoenix, just to clarify.
As far as
Who you
one,
give the edge to? Yeah. You give Phoenix the edge?
in game one?
No, just period over the series.
Or we to making final predictions?
No. I just meant what bench is better, Phoenix or Milwaukee?
Oh, the benches. As far as the benches go, I'm sorry. As far as the benches go, as they currently are constructed, I would give the edge just slightly to Phoenix. Now, I give it to Phoenix. Yeah, I see Phoenix using more players off the bench than the ones that we discussed that are usually employed into the game. I just see Monty Williams using more of his players and out coaching Coach Bud. I just do.
Me too.
I think they're a little bit deeper.
And
he has more confidence.
We'll cover all that leading into what you said. The intangibles.
The intangibles. I mean, we were talking about home court. I think Phoenix has the edge there big time. No question about it. It's game one. We're gonna find out tonight. Right. They get really loud in Phoenix, and they don't have well, they got a football team and they got an Arizona. But I don't know, for some reason they get really loud in Phoenix. They do versus Milwaukee's crowd. I think that they will play better at home. I think that everybody will play better at home. I think Jay Crowder will play better at home. I think Chris Paul, I think everybody's going to play better at home. I think that Phoenix may struggle on the road only because nobody's been this close before, which is true for both teams when they get to Milwaukee. But Chris Paul, that leadership will keep them calm. But as far as home court advantage goes, I think that's no brainer. I think that's Phoenix. I've seen some of their games and they're much louder. They're crazy.
Right. Solid crowd. Yeah, solid crowd. Yeah, they whip some ass too. They got fans in the stands whipping people's asses and shit. So yeah, they're hype. Home court advantage. I give the edge to Phoenix. I mean, you'd expect for them to be loud. They haven't been there since 1993. They've been waiting for this, and I mean, they've gone through some tough years the last few years to get to now. So you would imagine their fans wouldn't take that shit for granted. Milwaukee, though, I mean, I can see them being loud. They haven't been back in a while since the late 60s. I could see that.
Wow, Cinder.
Yeah. And for people that don't know who that is, enlighten them, Rob.
Lou Alcindor once played for the Milwaukee Bucks. I actually got a chance to see him play at the Omni in Atlanta when I lived there as a kid, and he transformed to the Muslim belief and became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Is what he's known as today. Lou Alcindor. That's the last time the Milwaukee Bucks has ever been to the finals.
Correct. So, since you dropped that TMI, I think that I mean, I of course Phoenix. As far as other intangibles, I got some stuff here that I think that viewers will find intriguing. Just overall hustle intangibles. Milwaukee's got Phoenix beat just overall.
50-50 balls.
They're second in loose ball recoveries. They're fifth in drawing charges. They're fifth in deflections. And they're second in clutch points. So they got some stuff there. They all the in betweens, all the in betweens, the plays and all that shit. I mean,
all the little things that tie the whole game together.
Right. Is Milwaukee's got the edge. Now Phoenix has some dogs too. Crowder does that kind of shit, you know? That's the kind of shit that Crowder does. He fills in all those little holes, you know? They're not necessarily as effective in all those areas, but I mean, they got scrappers too. So, but I'm giving the edge to Milwaukee, just because they got more players that do it. You know what I mean?
Those are intangibles,
right?
And they're used to doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel y'all see what you're saying. They got the. I could concur with that. Yeah, I would concur. That was a good little nugget.
Yeah, and the thing too is when it comes down, this is going to be an interesting series, man. Just because of when you put everything together that these teams have done, a lot of a lot of people in the analytics world will look and they say there's stats that totally contradict themselves. But like, for instance, just to set an example, I know we're still on intangibles, but Phoenix is a great free shooting team. If it gets to the point where they're making their free throws towards the end of the game, you know the game is close, right? Milwaukee is 3-1 in games that are under 5 points. So there's just a lot of little interesting things that you see that are a lot of unknowns in this series. And I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a good one, I think. And
I think so too.
Fuck all these people that aren't. Yeah, I know we keep saying it, but it's because it's true. You know,
these are the two best teams left standing.
Right.
Period.
That's the one. So, and then what do you bring it next to the head coaching? Where do you sit with both head coaches, Mike Budenholzer, Monty Williams?
Budenholzer, he for some reason he's slow on the draw to make adjustments.
Yes.
It seems as though sometimes he has to hear the media say stuff, and it seems like then they react, like Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez, the last two games against the Hawks, all of a sudden because Charles Barkley criticized them, they turned into two different players. Monty Williams, I think, is ahead of the curve, if you will, as far as I'll give him the edge as far as making in-game adjustments, game-to-game adjustments. I do believe he won Coach of the Year.
No, Thibodeau did. Thibodeau.
I was just checking, but he should have. But we all see that was a mistake, right? We all see that was a mistake now, don't we?
100%.
But yeah, I mean, they're listening to what he's saying, obviously. I don't think necessarily, I just don't see Budenholzer as that strategic. I just don't. I think Milwaukee has been put together better than the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
They were fortunate because Kyrie Irving and James Harden were hurt, because the Nets are that's the cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference. So I think I'm not taking anything away from them by beating them in Game 7, but I think they stuck with Giannis, obviously, Chris Middleton. They added, and they just added PJ Tucker, right?
Right. They acquired him, yeah.
And okay, look at the similarity between Phoenix Suns. They drafted Booker, they drafted Ayton, they added Chris Paul.
And Jay Crowder.
Which, what I'm trying to say is both teams they didn't go and put together a team like LeBron and his Lakers or what he always does. It's homegrown,
Mm-hmm.
but they added just a piece here and a piece there. They're both currently constructed the way they come together.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why we have these two teams in the NBA finals,
Mm-hmm.
is because they didn't go through free agency like everybody else did.
Right.
And
Organic.
it's organic. And the only thing that Phoenix needed was a leader in Chris Paul. A lot of people don't want to give him credit for what he's done, but we all know, I know, people watching on YouTube know, people on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Y'all all know every team that Chris Paul has joined has been elevated. So people need to stop hating on CP3, even though he be hitting people in the balls. I'm just saying.
Yeah. A lot of people have
That's a beautiful word to use. They're organically grown. Both teams, both of them.
Right. They are. I mean,
organically grown.
Just little tweaks, but just tweaks,
Yeah. They're not trying to put together a super team, so to speak. That's what's going to make this finals very interesting.
Yeah,
they're equally matched.
Scrappy. I mean, Chris. Go ahead.
No, they're both organically grown. Of course, you make moves and whatnot during the off season, but there's similarities to the rosters.
The core. I mean, the core is what got CP3 there to begin with. So yes, 100%. I'm with you. So, they're scrappy now. On the head coaching side for me, I'm totally with you when you say Mike Budenholzer. He's just in love with his style. Doesn't change it up very much. It's that zone drop. And that's what had him fail last year against the Miami Heat.
It gets him in trouble.
Right. Is the fact that he's not able to make adjustments, that he's so stubborn in his ways of his system. To Monty Williams, which a lot of people don't know this, but he's a defense first coach. And he runs a half-second offense is what he likes to call it. A lot of people don't know this, but his half-second offense is basically a mandate to shoot, pass, or drive from the moment that you touch the ball. So I'd like for everybody to look at that tonight and see if that's actually true. I'd like to look at it myself, but he's known to run that offense because it basically eliminates long periods of ISO. So ball movement, we all know that's been extremely successful in the NBA. You talk Spurs, you talk Warriors, you talk Mavericks, you talk a lot about
talk Hawks.
Right, the Hawks. There's just so many this decade leading into 2020, the 2020 decade, basketball's evolved to where it's that style of play wins ball games. It always has, but they've now incorporated shooters in those systems. So Monty's got it right, man. I like Monty Williams. I think he's a winner. He's a good mentor. You just hear him on the sidelines and you like everything that he's saying. He's trying to keep those dudes coached up, So I'm giving the edge to Monty Williams. A lot of people won't because they've seen Budenholzer and his success. I'm not falling for all that bullshit. I got Monty on the matchup.
We concur.
So, I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to me. But yeah. So, last but not least, what we got?
That was well spoken. We will start with game one. The over under is 218.5. You already said that you thought you took the under. I never made a comment on the over under. I'm gonna go over. I think Phoenix will score at least 112, and Milwaukee may score 108. I think it's going to be a close game, which would be 230.
Mm-hmm. See that sorry to cut you off, but that's another thing. Like from what I said earlier, both teams' losses have came to losses that were over 100 points, and they scored under that. So That's what makes it intriguing. I think this matchup is intriguing as shit. But go ahead.
I do as well. 110 to 110. Now you got me hedging on what I thought about the over under. I'm gonna stick with what I felt. I think Phoenix, if a frog had wings, if Antetokounmpo doesn't play, I think Phoenix will win this game going away, and it will force Milwaukee to have to play Giannis. I think Phoenix will score. I think they'll score 110, 110, at least 110.
Gotcha.
And
Which is what you said, Phoenix, which is kind of on brand with what they average. They average 108 points in the playoffs.
I think they'll get to 110.
I mean, if you look at it, it's crazy. So the way the line was put out is 218 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix averages 108 points a game. Milwaukee averages 109 points a game.
I don't think Milwaukee will get to their average. So
No,
therefore,
but-
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with the under. I don't think they score 219 points.
Yeah.
And but I will say I think Phoenix is gonna win by 6.
Got you.
I think they'll win by 6.
They'll cover the spread.
I think they'll cover the spread, but I don't think they'll go over.
Yeah. I'm totally with you on that. I think they laid out that line based off their averages. And even with Giannis on the floor, he's not 100%. I'm not banking that they'll make their 109 at their average, you know? So I take the under, as I said earlier. Are we going to predict this series or what? What are we talking about here?
We might. It's the NBA 2021 NBA Finals preview. So yeah, I mean, we have to give a prediction before it starts. I mean, we can't. That's hedging. You know,
That is edgy. That would be.
So that's hedging. You can't hedge your bets like that.
Right.
You got to make a prediction before the series starts, which tips off in about 30 minutes. I let you go first.
Why you gonna do that, man? Shit, I wanted to hear your take. No, okay. Damn. Phoenix in 7.
Man, I don't mean to piggyback off you, but I'm leaning towards 6 or 7 games. And I got Phoenix winning because, first of all, because they got the home court.
I could see them winning 6, but I'm picking 7.
Second of all, I think Chris Paul is not going to squander this opportunity unless, God forbid, I don't even want to bring that up. I don't think Chris Paul will squander this opportunity. I believe it. I tweeted at one point. I'm digressing, but I tweeted at one point about Kawhi Leonard against when they were playing the Mavericks, and I tweeted Kawhi not going to let them lose. And I think Chris Paul is not going to. He's not going to let this opportunity get away, where he finally is an NBA champion.
Right.
And
this is it for Chris Paul. Now
his window is very small.
Yeah. Now he could come back next year and shit if they don't win it.
But his window's small.
Right.
He's getting older.
I mean,
he's never been here before.
Right.
So I expect Chris Paul to come up big in most games starting tonight in Booker and 8. I expect Phoenix to be rolling tonight. Once they settle down and get going and start running their offense, I expect them to come up big.
Yeah.
And I got Phoenix winning. I will say in 6.
That's a good prediction. Again, I'm too basing that upon a Giannis return.
Now, if he don't play, I'm gonna say Phoenix in a sweep or a gentleman sweep.
I still think Milwaukee could win a game or 2 without Giannis. I think so.
At home, not on the road.
Right, but see, and before all this, my prediction was Milwaukee in 7, but the Giannis injury happened. I was going to pick Milwaukee in 7. But But I mean, with everything happening, I got Phoenix in 7. So
All right, there it is. You got Phoenix. I got Phoenix. I got Phoenix in 6. You got Phoenix in 7. That wraps up the TMI Fantasy Sports Podcast 2021 NBA Finals preview with your man Rob Beats and me, your host with the most, Icy Rob Cole. You can check us out on YouTube, Twitter at IC Rob, ISEE Rob, and Rob Beats. The E is a 3.
that's right.
Subscribe, click, like, do what you do. Check us out.
See y'all.
Hit it.
Finals preview. Finals preview. Finals preview.
Hey,
Check it out, man. Check it out.